Santiago del Carmen Maria, the queen of crowning thoughts. I speak truth unapologetically. It's my
Desperate measures. Americans now living in cars as the brutal housing and cost of living crisis crushes families in 2026, right now. In the dead of winter 2026, millions of hardworking Americans are sleeping in their cars, vans, and RVs, not because they want some trendy van life. Adventure, but because the housing market has become a cruel joke and the cost of living has turned survival into a daily grind. This isn't a fringe issue. It's exploding across the country as rents skyrocket, wages stagnate, and corporate greed keeps pushing prices higher while families get squeezed out of homes. Thousands are forced into vehicles just to keep a roof, any roof, over their heads, and the numbers are climbing fast. We're talking about working people, retirees on fixed incomes, even older women who have been priced out after decades of grinding, now curling up in backseats to avoid freezing or eviction. The stats paint a grim picture. Vehicle residency is one of the fastest-growing forms of homelessness, with estimates showing tens of thousands, possibly up to 67,500 or more, living in cars, vans, or RVs on any given night. In major cities, it's even worse. Los Angeles alone has seen massive spikes, and reports from 2025 into 2026 highlight how the unsheltered population in vehicles has doubled or more in some areas over the last decade. This surge ties directly to the housing affordability crisis. Rents up over 14% in recent years, home prices unreachable for most, and no end in sight. A full-time minimum wage worker can't afford a modest two-bedroom anywhere in the country. When unexpected bills hit or jobs dry up, people turn to their cars as the last line of defense against total homelessness. This ties straight into the terrible cost of living crisis that's only gotten worse heading into 2026. Inflation may have cooled somewhat, but everyday essentials remain punishing. Groceries, utilities, health care, and rent all climbing faster than wages for the average family. Nearly 70% of Americans say the cost of living in their area is unaffordable, with 2/3 living paycheck to paycheck, a jump from last year. Household debt is through the roof at over $18 trillion, credit card balances hitting records, and almost half report their finances are worse than a year ago. Consumer sentiment has tanked nearly 30% from 2024 levels. Families are cutting back hard, using credit more, delaying medical care, skipping meals just to scrape by. This isn't temporary belt tightening. It's a full-blown affordability nightmare where basics feel like luxuries. Restaurants are feeling the backlash hard, and they're paying the price for their own greed. Diners are fed up with insane menu prices, where a simple meal now costs what used to be a full family outing. Chains and independents jacked up costs during inflation spikes, blaming supply chains while pocketing higher margins. Now, traffic is down, people are eating at home, and closures are everywhere. Historic spots and big names alike are shuttering hundreds of locations from chains like Wendy's, 200 to 350 planned, Denny's, dozens already gone, and others facing the axe in 2026. Food and labor costs up 35% each in recent years, rent hikes, credit card fees, eating profits. It's a perfect storm. But the real killer, customers saying no more to overpriced food and hidden fees that sneak onto bills like kitchen appreciation, service charges, or operations fees. These junk fees, sometimes 4 to 10% extra, have become insane, turning a $20 entree into a $30 sting. New laws in states like California, Massachusetts, and Florida are cracking down, forcing transparency, but many spots still try to slip them in. Diners are boycotting, opting for home cooking, and the industry is bleeding because greed finally backfired. All of this feeds into the deeper despair. Americans are losing hope, with mass layoffs continuing and job searches feeling impossible. The job market is frozen, hiring slowed dramatically, openings at 14-month lows, and unemployment ticking up to around 4.4 to 4.6%. Over 1. 1 million job cuts announced in 2025 alone, the highest since the pandemic outside major crises, and 2026 is shaping up no better. AI is displacing roles left and right. Tariffs threaten more pain, and sectors like retail, tech, auto, and logistics are slashing thousands. People apply to hundreds of jobs with no callbacks, wages flatlining while costs soar. Polls show majorities predicting a tougher year ahead: economic weakness, higher prices, political division, and nearly half are more stressed about money now than last year. It's not just financial, it's emotional and mental exhaustion. When survival mode kicks in, dodging bills, sleeping in cars, skipping meals, hope evaporates. Life feels meaningless when hard work doesn't lead anywhere but deeper struggle. This crisis is man-made, fueled by corporate profits over people, policy failures, and a system that lets the wealthy hoard while the rest scramble. We're not powerless, though. Demand rent caps, stronger wage laws, real affordable housing investment, crackdowns on price gouging, and protections against mass AI-driven layoffs. Support local eateries that treat customers fairly, push back on hidden fees, and organize for change. The American dream isn't dead yet, but it's on life support, and we have to fight like hell to revive it before more families end up in cars, hopeless and forgotten. Follow so we can stay connected. Your support matters more than you know, and I appreciate every moment you give to listen. Your support is important to me, and it helps me a lot. It keeps me active, bringing you important information with your support and comments, likes and shares. Feel free to like, support, and subscribe. I will always provide content for you. I appreciate every support you give. Crowning Thoughts, True Speaker, copyright 2025 by Santiago D.C. Maria, licensed under Creative Commons Attribution. I love you all and I appreciate each of you. Stay blessed. Thank you for listening. Love always. Santiago D.C. Maria.